nicely, actually. They have the heals coming from Guan Yu and Ra. I expect to see an early Pestilence, something along those lines to kind of keep down the healing potential coming out. Ra, more notably, increased healing effectiveness over Guan Yu with that Conviction activation, even with the passive coupled on top of it. Final lineup here for Dynamo is going to be Apollo, Sun Wukong, Ao Guang, Guan Yu, and Ra, of course. Ra going to the solo lane, Guan Yu going to be going into the jungle. Support Sun Wukong, supporting his Hunter. Apollo and Ao Guang in the mid lane, played by Mace Tuta Face. No ISIS pickup here just yet, but Ao Guang is so hard to pass up. That slow, the damage output, the ultimate, it's all very, very effective. Across the way, Evolution has Cupid, Athena, Tyr, Chalk, and Zeus. Zeus most likely going into the mid lane here. Looks like Chalk going to the solo lane, Tyr in the jungle, and then Cupid and Athena laning up together. Now, Evolution does have a lot of combo potential, but I feel like Denial is a much safer team with the control they have, with the amount of damage output in bursts, but also sustained bursts. It's going to keep continually coming out and coming out and coming out. They also have the heals in the back, and I think a very safe team from Denial. Evolution is more of that Wombo type team, like you were mentioning, where they just really need some great rotations, some good pickups, and I think it's going to come down to whether or not Zeus and Cupid can get their damage off. Chalk's damage is pretty much guaranteed. It's not very hard to get that damage out. Tyr, same thing. I mean, his skills are very on point. Athena, the same thing. So if Cupid or Zeus kind of fall short here, Evolution's going to be in trouble, whereas there's less weaknesses for Denial. But that's going to be it for this, guys. We're going to be cutting to a brief break, 3 minutes on the clock as we go directly into the next stage of this game, starting up very, very shortly. It's going to be Evolution versus Denial in this round of 8. Going to the semifinal round. Will Evolution win or will Denial win? They're both looking for those seeding points. Any final words?
My final words are, we'll see if the mighty Jeff Hinlick can find some steals on Sun Wukong, and we will see if really what I'm looking for this game is I'm looking for the Ra snipe with the Ao Guang snipe. Like, I want them both to kind of triangulate one player and see somebody explode this game. That's what I'm looking for, guys. You should be looking forward to 3 minutes of delay and then all of the action coming to you live from the round of 8. It is Evolution versus Denial. We'll be right back after this short break. All right, welcome to another SmiteGame.com presentation. My name is Hi-Rez Barton. Joining me today for Competitive Insight is going to be the one and only Drybear. Drybear, how you doing?
I'm doing terrific today, Bar. Who do we got going on these teams?
It's going to be Evolution Gaming going up against the Nile. Shout-outs to Breaky CPK, definitely my hero in shoutcasting there. Going to give a little riff on his
Legend!
The legend himself. It is going to be Evolution. They are represented by King Taco and Dermanolion. Wow, that's a tough one. They're going to be combining for that duo lane, Cupid and Athena. You have Master Fasho in the jungle as the tier. It's going to be solo lane Shock, and you have Raven on the mid lane, Zeus. On the other side of the map, it is the Nile there. Mace of the Face, Pon Pon Rush, Pandion and Jeff Hinla. It'll be Mace of the Face, Ao Guang mid, Pon Pon in the jungle as Guan Yu. Rush solo lane Raw, Pandion and Jeff Hinla combining for that duo lane. And I have no items on my scoreboard. That's a new one.
Look at this 5-man engagement for both teams. Might see an opportunity to jump in here. Do we have a Confound coming out? Pon Pon in the back end could have a slow. There goes a Thunder Strike to force him out of this fight. Pon Pon going forward. Jeff Hinla gets this on Master Choke. No, the taunt doesn't hit though. Looking for opportunity. Jeff Hinla forced back. Heart Bomb on the back end. That's done. Actually, does detonate have opportunity here? Does Zeus go in? Does he get the stacks? 3 stacks on Pon Pon. Does not detonate this one. It was on cooldown. There goes one Celestial Beam. A Tornado's going to do very minimal damage. One of the worst skills in the game at level 1 is that Tornado does about 70 to 100 damage total if you step in it for 1 second there, so not going to be able to finish things off. Surprisingly enough, we saw a full engagement from the Nile. Not over yet. There's one more Thunder Strike. The Blink, the Fearless, grabs 2, Tornado activation. There goes the Detonate. Rush goes down for first blood. Pon Pon forced out here. Evolution is answering the call. Pon Pon starts the mid camp. Gets the hit there. Thunderstrike's going to do some damage, but they don't have the follow-up as they're all still level 1. So Pon Pon's last wish as he leaves the mid engagement is to steal the mid camps there. Looking at the charts, because of First Blood, 400 gold in the lead is Evolution, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Give it up in chat.
Now, that's unbelievable. I mean, we always talk about Denial being the number 1 team when it comes to early game damage and their ability to find those ganks before the timer starts. And as I said, I expect to see some kills before the game starts. I did not expect them to go the way of Evolution, and they have taken this early lead, and that kill did go the way of Raven as well. And if there's really, you know, one god on the map that you didn't want to get an early start, it's probably the Zeus, and then an assist on Tier and Shock apiece. Very, very, very good stuff for Evolution.
Yeah, I mean, that early start with the Blink there for Tier, you see him skipping actually on the potion instead of going for that Blink, and that's exactly what got them the kill, the double Fearless coming out. Hearts on the left side as King Taco gets harassed very heavily by Pain Devion here as the basic attacks are coming out very clear, good accuracy coming out there, and just forcing him away. We're going to see Pain Devion start with Sprint 3 as well as Devourer's Gloves 1, that extra stack and go for that potential. I think the only reason people didn't realize that Devourer's Gloves was good is because the stacks for Devourer's Gloves was increased to 60 at the same time Chin Size came out, and everyone just completely ignored Devourer's Gloves. But certainly a very strong item that previously was 40 stacks, now 60, a high amount of damage and lifesteal that come from that. And Pain Devion, in combination with that 1 minute cooldown sprint, as well as the fact that the move's going to give him dash potential as well as movement speed, he's going to just sit here and farm, finish off the Devourer's Gloves and make sure he gets those stacks up. In the mid lane, we see Zeus pushing up here, level 4 versus Ao Guang. Even with the First Blood, Ao Guang's going to be sitting only about 200 gold behind as this wave gets cleared out.
Ooh, solo lane. Tier rotating in, finds the kill onto Ra. Rush falls again. Evolution just taking it to Denial so far this game. Very nice rotation coming out. They combine for that kill. Now they're going to go, that of course, Tier and Chalk, and they go secure this right side mid camp. 4 members of Evolution now in the mid lane. Hopefully they'll look to set up a gank on the back of this here. They're very, very strong and aggressive positioning. However, it looks like they're not going to go for it just yet. The solo laner's going to make his way back. Massive Show going to continue his rotation through the jungle. You know, one thing I do want to point out here on Devourer's Gloves, as you mentioned, moving up to 60 stacks, but the contribution per stack did not drop with that. So it's not like it took longer to get to the same amount of power. It's that you get 20 additional stacks of power. And I think you're absolutely right. That's why that item was undervalued, was because the Chin's blades and size change as it came out. But it is quite strong. But Chalk versus Ra in the solo lane, I mean, this should be really, really in favor of Chalk.
I mean, obviously you have the Rain Dance, which heals him up, gives a good slow and debuff on the back end as well. We're going to see him Thunderstrike constantly throwing out there with a 10-second cooldown, that good harassment. Torrent if he gets the opportunity, and then if Ra gets too close, that Storm Call. Notably Ra with the Divine Blessing coming out has a great engagement with melee, especially characters like Vamana, Sun Wukong, Guan Yu can just run away from that. King Talk on the left side forced out a lane here as it gets pushed back. But again, I mean, Chalk has a great matchup against Ra. If rushed improperly, use that Divine Blessing, using an opportunity to kill out this wave. There goes one more Thunderstrike. Look at the damage he's able to do. Just one Thunderstrike coming down, and Ra drops down to about 300 HP, forced home. Does he have teleport? He has teleport 2 here, so go right back to lane if that comes off. But keep in mind, teleport cooldowns were increased, so it takes longer for him to get back, and he has to stay for longer periods of time if he does use that teleport. Tier on the left side looking for opportunity, not going to find it, but it does another doing damage. Looks like he doesn't. Good ward placement coming out from Denial. Looks like they have one on top of the Gold Fury to spec out those rotations without getting counter warded.
Reverbo here, the Chalk really dictating the pace of the game on the right side of the map. No jungle rotations are really going to be able to come out over here from Denial. There's just not much that you're going to see the jungler here of Pon Pon on Guan Yu able to do to Chalk. I mean, that big silence with its damage mitigation. We have an engagement on the left side of the mid lane. That ultimate not going to hit anybody. Mesa Face gets splitting the field goals there. Master for show able to get out of this for now. A beautiful blink. Athena comes in as well. That's going to save the life of Tyr. In the mid lane now, it's going to be Mesa Face aggressed by Reverbo and Raven. The rotation from Chalk comes in just in time, and they find themselves a kill just like that. Evolution Gaming is outplaying Denial in the first 5 minutes of this game. No buts about it.
Not over just yet. Towel Saw coming out there. Zeus does have an ultimate available if they want to go for the chain lightning coming out here. They do have some stacks. Does he not go for it? Zerafia comes out, not going to get the hill, but Cupid gets a kill on Apollo on the left side as Athena comes out, gets a good rotation there. Apollo not getting the placement they would expect from a high caliber player like Pain Divion. Not only did he miss 2 shots in a row on the escaping Tyr, who had literally 1% HP, unable to get that last hit just to kill him off there. He stays a little bit too long as his team fully rotates to mid. The communication was separated there, and surprisingly enough, we're not seeing the Denial we're used to seeing here, as we're going to see a 4-0 start from Evolution against Denial of all teams. Now keep in mind, when you're up against a high-caliber team like Denial, the kills are important, yes, but Denial has their fundamentals down. They have their basics down. So regardless of how many kills you get, they're still going to farm well. Looking at this 4-0 start, it's only a 600 gold lead and a 400 experience lead. It's very, very nominal. Now, it bodes well because they're getting the kills on the right people, but at the same time, Denial is not messing up in the fundamentals.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're not building a massive lead off of that control. I think you make a really great point there. 400 gold, 200 experience, as you mentioned. So it still means that Denial's getting more off of the map. They're farming much better at 4-0, and I think a lot of that is Pon Pon uncontested completely on the Guan Yu, 3,700 net worth, only really behind Reverbo and just a bit behind Raven in the mid lane here. And really, you need to see Pon Pon getting involved and setting up some kills and helping specifically this dual lane get back into it here as he's over here now aggressing King Taka, but not going to find a lot of damage there. In fact, hardly any at all, and Pon Pon now forced back out of this lane. Really, it's just this mid game is going to be so dominated by Evolution. It's tough to see Denial getting such a bad start. The Fearless combination with a Zeus ultimate is just so much lockdown, and it allows you to build those stacks so quickly. And then you start, folding Athena into that mix, a big Chalk silence, Cupid's Fields of Love. They have a lot of lockdown to go with this really high damage ultimate.
What's really important, too, is looking at the bannings. I mean, we saw Frey and Thor banned out by Denial, and they're going to let characters like Chalk, Zeus, Tyr all through here, and it may be to their loss. We see rotation come out, Tyr and Chalk kind of banding together, hoping to huddle through the storm. Chain Lightning going to land there, going between Alquag. It's going to bounce to Pon Pon. Pon Pon with a wonderful position there. Leashes out the distance for the chain lightning, pops a cavalry charge, looking for a stun. Alcohol's gonna go through. It's gonna do damage. There goes the Searing Pain. Reverbo gets picked off by a Celestial Beam. Tyr not done yet. Athena ultimate on the back end. Look for opportunity to pick up Pon Pon. Good taunt there from the Athena. Bring them together. There goes the dunk. Just the justice has been brought as we see Guan Yu go down, but Tyr in a lot of situations not really preferable to his health as Master Joe gets slowed by the Squall. One more hit will do it. Jeff Hinla gets to it. We finally get to raise our Jeff Hinla's here. There goes the Somersault Cloud looking for the Zeus to get the dunk. The dunk comes down, doesn't save his teammate in time. Zeus still alive somehow, some way. Does he die to the minions? The Tiger's going to get this one. No, the minions block it, but looks like Zeus is going to go down either way. It's going to be a 1 for 2. Surprisingly enough, so Denial better extends.
Oh, Cupid going so deep.
Fields of Love not going to get it. Heart Bomb didn't land either. So it looks like Al Guo is going to get out of dodge, and right there, you're going to see the veteran aspect come out from Denial. In fact, we're all tied up, Bart.
And Pain Nivion gets 2 free waves in the left side. Looks like he's going, no, he's not going to creep skip there, but he is going to go back into the lane here. Get a lot of damage onto this tier 1 in the left side lane. This is a little bit, I think, of an experience misplay from Evolution to rotate Cupid that far across the map. He's not going to be able to contest this at all. And with a god like Apollo, you can't just leave him to get free auto attacks on a tower. That passive will allow him to get this thing down to almost half health there, off of 1 rotation from Cupid, and is going to be a wave ahead. Kintako, I think a little bit of a misplay there, but at the end of the day, Denial, one thing they do definitely have in their favor in this style of game is they will be able to take extended engagements much better. They have the percentage healing coming out from Wukong and the Somersault Cloud, and they have the Ross beams that are going to be able to really keep them in this, whereas on Evolution's side, it's really only Chalk that has a super effective kind of combat healing, so to speak, that allows him to stay in those extended engagements. And as we saw there, he is very susceptible to burst. He did not handle the Celestial Beam very well at all. It actually hit him for nearly a true damage there. So it's going to be tough, I think, for Chalk to stay in these team fights without his heal available. And left side lane looks like we're going to have some action drive there as the Confound Shield Wall combination comes in on the Pain to Beyond. They're knocking him up a tier, and they're going to burst him down just like that. No problem. It's going to be tough for them to secure Jeff Hinla, and he's going to stand because Mesa face a pop on her here. There is the Jingle Bang onto King Taco. Do they have what it takes? Knock up. Fields of Love is going to be triggered now. Aoguang Ultimate, it's got to be flying soon. Mesa face, where are you at? He hasn't shot it off yet. King Taco going to smartly run back into them to try and make some time for his team to rotate in. King Raven's here, finds the stacks on Mesa face, but not enough. That ultimate actually doesn't do very much at all. A little bit of a poor placement. Massive Show wants to continue this engagement. Athena coming in. They don't find much more damage on the back of that. A little bit of miscommunication there, I think, from Evolution. And really that ultimate from Zeus just misplaced, and now it's all in Denial's hands. They can aggress this as much as they want.
That was a wonderful pickup there on the Cupid, a good rotation in the tier as well, but I think they just stayed a little bit too long. It was surprising enough to see Cupid dash through the tornado, which basically secured his death there, and something that, may have been, in hindsight, not as perfect, but something that he was looking to buy some time for his team. Torrent in the right side, force back this Ra, but Ra seems to be getting the better end of this, and again, we're seeing the veteran aspects from Denial kind of shine through here. Raindance getting popped up by Chalk, making sure he heals himself back up, but, at the same time, Denial is just more comfortable under pressure than Evolution is. Evolution had the 4-0 start. They were looking so sharp, but when it comes down to the wire and they have to make those clutch, game time decisions when the team fight is already underway, Denial has more experience with that, and you're going to see that in the engagements. Evolution stays too long or pushes too far, and honestly, that's the only thing that's hurting them right now. Right side, in the engagement in the jungle, we saw them stay too long. Zeus goes down needlessly. Again, left side, we saw them stay too long. Cupid gets picked off. Tier kind of forced the envelope there, not able to get anything out of it. And I think if Evolution starts to get a little more patient, they may start pulling back ahead, but at the same time, Denial has got that lead right now. We're going to see him push out in the mid lane. Looks like these mid camps coming out. Alcohol will come through, going to be dodged by both of them there, although the Squall does do a little bit of damage. That slow is so powerful, and Zeus feeling the nerf on his Aegis shield, preventing him from being immune to the slows. One thing I also want to highlight before we move on with this game here is the fact that we're seeing tier 2 boots being picked up by Guan Yu, Chalk, as well as the Cupid, just getting an extra little bit off. You see sprint activation coming out from the Apollo there, but again, because the tier 3 is so expensive, they're kind of skipping that here. Pomp on the mid lane, there's the blink, there's the cavalry charge. He turns around for the initiation. He's going to take a lot of damage from this one. The detonate's going to come through, burst damage come out. Chalk, there goes the storm call. Does he have enough damage to take him down right there? And I think Pon made a bad decision like going back in. Again, we see some aggression coming out from Evolution. They're forcing us out. Looks like it's the end of the engagement, but again, Pon, I don't know why he turned around there.
Yeah, definitely. I think he thought that that there was an Aoguang ultimate there. I think a little bit of miscommunication, because with an Aoguang ultimate, that's a 3-man hit, easy peasy, that big time stun as they were all bunched up. But wasn't able to get it in the silence, also did a lot there. Wasn't able to use Warrior's Will to try to dash out of that one. So you did see him pop beads, however, though, and I would expect to see a lot of beads available over here for Denial. In fact, you see 4 of them up and running already. So only really Jeff Hinla doesn't have a great way to get out of that. But of course, he has Somersault Cloud, which will allow him to, unless he gets bursted down during the silence, pretty much escape with impunity. So that's going to be tough to deal with. Also, look over at Evolution. Blink 3 up and running on both Master of the Show and Reverbo. Love the style of play that they have here. Just so aggressive and really taking it to Denial.
They're going to rename themselves Double Blink as they pick up not enough Penta Blink here. But, you look at the combinations coming out. Chalk is able to blink and use that Storm Call for that massive silence. And that is honestly one of the best ways to start out a team fight. Is just jump in, dunk him with Storm Call, and a 3-second silence applied to as many people. 3 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're looking at the contents of a team fight, 3 seconds is absolutely, completely devastating to your overall engagement. So if you get that 3-second silence off, it's a great initiation. Honestly, Reverbo may look to be a little more aggressive, but at this point he's too aggressive. Guan Yu comes from the back end. Telesalt's gets started up, but doesn't get any damage off. There goes the slow from the Squall. Tornado on top. Do they have there's a Storm Call getting the silence off on 2 people. Not on the Ra though. Does he have the Searing Pain? Does he have the activation? Going for the Tiger. Good slow from the Athena. Shield walls on the ground. Guan Yu dashing here, looking for opportunity. Verbo gets out with the blink. Goes backward. Shield ultimate. There goes the Alcohol ultimate. Finishing off Chalk, but they're not done yet. That detonate comes through and Guan Yu goes down. Zeus in the back end. Somersault Cloud. It does get used there by Sun Wukong, forcing him out. He's going to jump away. It's going to be a 1-for-1 jungler for solo laner. And Denial trading evenly here is going to stay a little bit ahead at this point as the Hunters go head-to-head in the left side. King Taco pressuring this tower.
Yeah, both of those gods did go down there, have the Heartseeker, so stacks equally reset now. Master for Show going to try to aggress the blue buff here, very deep into Denial's territory. Jeff Hinless there. I don't think he can steal it. Looks for a Jingo Bang, doesn't find it. Blue buff on the ground now. Lion going to pick that up on the Athena and look to fall back. Oh, there's a big taunt coming out. Rushed is going to get knocked up by Fearless Blue. Will he find the Fearless Red stance here? Master for Show, does he have the damage? Still trying to find it. Detonate, not enough to secure the kill, and they're going to be forced to fall back. Also, what to point out here in the left side lane, King Taco doing a great job against Pain to be on. Certainly not a player that gets the same kind of credit that Pain does, but doing a great job against one of the better hunters in the North American scene.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, King Taco was pushing that up right now. You look at the build, Heartseeker boots, looking over at Palm Pines, that Devourer's gloves kind of being pushed back here. But yeah, I'm surprised to see it because, Pain can easily start getting some lifesteal out of that Devourer's gloves once it starts to get stacked up to 60 stacks. So that is going to allow him to trade evenly. Blink in the mid lane. There goes the Fearless. Not going to land as we see the activation come out from Mace to the face, just completely ignoring that one. 90-second cooldown on the Purification beads. Going to keep himself alive for the time being. Looking at the active items right now, we're going to see Tier 2 Aegis and Tier 2 beads on the Zeus. Full penetration build with the Shoes of the Magi right into the Focused Voidstone. Apollo's going to find Athena doing the blue buff across the way. Pain going to start backing off of this one as Cupid joins in on the fun. Looking for some shots here. Preemptive Strike. Taunt comes out, pops the beads, and gets out of dodge there. That will be on cooldown. It's a Tier 3 beats though, so 90-second cooldown has been started up. And honestly, I don't see a fight coming out in the next 90 seconds anyway, so good defensive usage there coming out from Pain de Beyond. We see the Sovereignty starting up on the Athena, but because of her rotations, she's kind of a little bit behind the gate on that one. As you see Jeff Hinla see Tier 2 Sovereignties, although the golden hand for Athena is at 1,600, 1,900 on the tier there. Right side, we see Reverbo coming out with that rain dance, but here comes a rotation from the back end from Guan Yu.
Check the left. You have Athena forced to channel an ultimate out. Pon is going to try to aggress this. 4 members of Denial are over here. Jeff Hinla is not going to find the stun. Athena going to soak up this damage and going to go ahead and let Cupid fall back there. The Fields of Love are used, and it's actually a great placement, but no follow-up there. The rotation from Evolution is here, but it is a little bit too late. And Denial looks like they want to keep on with the aggression. You do have a Blink tier to contend with, though. Master for Show misses his Fearless. Beads used by Pon anyway. And looks like that's going to be the end of that for the moment, at least, as Alguang has moved back to the mid lane.
It's a little bit strange there to see that, and I think that just comes down to a lack of communication or an improper communication. We saw Athena use Defender of Olympus on the Cupid to try and escape, and generally if you see an Athena ultimate come down on top, you think, oh, they want to go, let's fight. And so Cupid moves a little bit far forward, but unfortunately enough, that puts Athena in a terrible spot. Cupid was able to use Flutter, but Preemptive Strike was not available for Athena there. So because Cupid went forward instead of trying to get Athena further back, of course, Defender of Olympus is Athena's ultimate. She will, after 4 seconds, I think it's 4.6 seconds actually, charge duration, she will land down on the target that she has selected on her team. And of course, Cupid could have backed off there and put her in a better situation, but Cupid kind of moved forward looking for opportunity to get the gank, and that just kind of secured her life there at that point in the hands of Denial. 9-6 as Athena does counter-ward the Gold Fury, making sure vision of that objective is completely free and clear. Jeff Hinla taking some harassment in the mid lane, but they will get the mid Harpies. Look at the graphs, 2,100 gold in favor of Denial and 2,700 experience. Now, you look at the fact that Evolution started this 4-0, it just comes down to the fact that Denial is just much more experienced, and when those small plays happen, Denial sees them, but Evolution doesn't.
Chalk going to get some damage into this tier 1 on the right side. He may actually be able to take this tower. No. He will. I'm actually a fool. He was defending his own tower. But let's take a look at the items here. Polynomicon going to come out here with the Gem of Isolation into Poly. That Gem of Isolation really allows him to harass Zeus. Zeus is no longer able to cleanse slows with his number 2. So that Squall into Tornado's combination will start really, really hurting him, as we saw in the mid lane. He's able to take that tower, in fact, with the extra aggression he's able to put out there. We haven't really seen this blink from Chalk come into any play yet so far. It really would like to see some of those knock-up ultimates coming through. I mean, that's why he gets it. He's looking for the combination where he throws out his axe, then blinks to it before it does damage and starts channeling the ultimate, which allows it to have some CC in addition to the silence. But we haven't really seen Reverbo be that effective with it. And he's also going for this very, very kind of lean style build, going boots into Heartseeker, then Bulwark. You know, I think that he's a little bit squishy, and Denial is recognizing that, and they're going to actually put a lot of pressure over on this right side lane where Reverbo is trying to hold off Rush and Pon right now, and it's going to be tough for him to do it. He's going to go ahead and silence out Rush, but Rush is just so fast. It really needs Athena to dash in, but she has to turn the corner. Minions body blocking. I don't think they can continue to aggress this. They cannot, so a wasted defender of Olympus. Cupid all alone now with really horrible positioning over on the left side as the aggression is coming out from Jeff Hinla and Apollo there. They're pushing that tower in. In the meantime, Evolution just doing what they can to hold this right side. All things told, now Tier rotating over to the left as well. This is, you know, Denial's done a really nice job here of spreading the map out and forcing some awkward rotations out of Gentlemen of Evolution.
Left side looking to push off this tower here as Payne gets some damage out with that. So beautiful, forcing him out. I have a question that's burning in my mind. Does Chalk ever go home? He finally goes home. He had 2,300 gold in hand, just sitting in that solo lane forever. He's going to spend it on a full bulwark or finish that one off there. Ao Guang as well as Guan Yu rotating over the left side as the dash in comes from the There goes the taunt. Confound. Fields of Fluff. Do they have the burst damage? Just going to go up from there. Is the Somersault Cloud. Have we charged Cupid in the bad situation?
That's a big ult. That's a big ult.
It's going to hit both the beautiful spirits. Tempest and Tyr is doing the best he can to escape. The Telesalt is out of range. There goes the dunk in from the Apollo, and he's going to blink away from it very, very casually there. Almost like he's just walking away from an explosion. Athena's going to try and steal away. We get the Hand of God situation. We have Hand of God's 3 on Jeff Hinla as well as the Athena. Do they secure this one away? Pushing it out. Athena might go in. If she goes in too far, she may miss an opportunity to keep herself alive. The taunt comes out, getting low. Shields of Love is, or I'm sorry, Shields of Love. It's not even a thing anymore. Detonate comes out there from the Zeus as the ultimate comes out and come down. Jeff Hinla gets out of there. Tornado on top of Zeus gets picked off. The Gold Fury did end up going in the way of Denial as the Chalk Storm Call calms down. There's the Torrent. Getting out is going to be the Athena, and Verbo popping that rain dance and backing away from this one. I mean, beautiful play from Denial, getting a great rotation. That Algo ultimate was right on point, and they're going to get a Gold Fury and a couple kills in the back end. I don't know why Zeus and Athena stayed as long as they did. Athena was able to get out, but Zeus stayed far too long.
Yeah, and being able to, you know, pick up Zeus and kill him, especially after he's used his ultimate, you know, it just means that they have won that team fight so handily there. And they take the Gold Fury as well. The Grass echo that, 5,000 gold, nearly 6,000, well, no, 5,500 experience as well, going the way of Denial. And they've really taken the first massive lead of this game. They're really starting to show in the items as well. Pain to Beyond. We'll have Chin's Blades up and running fairly shortly, but really it's Pon, who just has had, even though he's died a few times, has had fairly uncontested farm in this jungle and has gone into a double stacking build, which means that his late game is going to be very, very, very strong. We haven't really seen this type of full damage Guan Yu in tournament play in a really long time. And it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do with it. I mean, you can see Talo Assault now hitting for 70 a tick against Reverbo. That's going to chunk the Chalk, and there's not much he's going to be able to do about it. Left side lane, let's take a look at the blue buff for King Taco. Is in some trouble. It is going to be no more aggression for the moment, as Denial's going to think better of that one. I think they really want to take this tier 1, and they're going to look for it right here.
Yeah, they're pressing this one up. Looks like they're trying to grab it up, keep it on the back end. We see Athena doing the best she can, but what can she really do right now as they force this one away? Do they have it? The tower's going to go down. Looks like it will end up falling here as they rotate. Fields of Love on the ground. Rushed, forced back. The Heart Bomb's ticking up on the Somersault Cloud as Ao Guang rotates over. The Squall's going to hit the ground. Massive for show, looking for opportunity. Goes in with the ultimate. The Lawbringer has been brought on top of him. He's in a tornado, and the wind is far too much for him. Great CC chain. Tyr goes for the initiation and gets absolutely shut down. Polynomicon there on Ao Guang. Of course, the Polynomic coming out here absolutely devastating. King Taco with a lazy back. Might get picked up. The Squall not going to land there. Jeff going to look for opportunity. Gets taunted out by the Athena. There goes the Jingu Bang on top. Doesn't have enough. Does Zeus have an ultimate? It looks like he does. If they get too greedy here, they may have an opportunity for a turnaround. Chalk and Guan Yu having their own solo lane island party across the way. Those towers are somehow still standing. And that's going to be a 4 versus 4 with Tyr going down for free.
Yeah, I mean, he started up Fearless twice after blinking in and was stunned out both times.
Right side.
Great play. Right side, yeah, you do see the dive coming out. Pon in a lot of trouble. The ports are coming in, however. Have they overstayed their welcome as Evolution? Rush finds the slow onto Reverbo, procs the bulwark, misses the snipe. Nice play by the Chalk there. Rush is going to have a hard time securing that. Yeah, the blink is going to come out. Jeff Hinla rotating around on the backside. And it looks like Rush wants to continue diving this one. Not so fast, says Derman Lion. Dunk comes in from Pain of Yon as well. They're not going to have enough to clean up Athena, but they should have enough to clean up the tower here as he continues to throw in those auto attacks. But here's Master of Show. That's a two-man Fearless. Do they have the follow-up? Yes, they do. Of course they do. It's going to be the Zeus Ultimate. A lot of damage coming out, but they don't build stacks quite fast enough. A little bit mistimed there. They will still pick up Rush, who has really been the punching bag, it seems like, for Denial, sitting on his 4 deaths now. Similar to Pon there. He did have those 2 very, very early ones. But Evo able to save their tower, but unable to really convert as many kills as they would have liked to there, I think. Ultimately, they are still down by 5,000 gold, but they've made up a little bit in experience there with some nice rotations. I just don't know if it's going to be enough at this point as Pain is starting to get really, really big, and you know, the tower advantage is starting to really play out. Himla now the one that's Trouble Shield Wall doing a lot of damage up into the cloud. Barely surviving that one, though, as he starts to tick back up from that Somersault Cloud % HP.
Honestly, just needed to detonate that immediately. With that Somersault Cloud activation, of course, if you have anything on the decoy, it's going to detonate through there and do absolutely nothing on that one. That was a very, very close timing that I think it's very rare to see that actually happen. Cupid left side can take this tower. Now, looking at the gold situation, it's going to start changing for the better for Evolution. You see it's down to 4,100. They were up 5k for Denial, but of course they were ahead 2 towers. Now only ahead 1 tower, so about 3,000 gold is the total difference. King Taco again with a lazy back, forced to use his ultimate, forced to use sprint. A horse will beat out the sprint on foot here as Cupid's feet are too small. There's the Warriors will. Talu Assault that jump out. The ultimate buys some time, but King Taco yet again with the lazy back goes down in left lane. Athena not able to make it. There's a storm call the right side. It's going to slow there. There goes a storm strike. Do they have it? Rain Dance comes out. No detonate coming out there. The chain lane didn't have the distance. Right tower will go down tier by himself. Surrounded here by Rush as well as Mace to the face. There goes the activation here. The Solar Blessings on the ground. Reverbo being forced out here, but very, very tanky. Zeus has rotated over. 2 ultimates still remain for Evolution. One of those being the ultimate coming out from the Zeus. There's the chain lightning. Do they have the ultimate? Alcohol ultimate coming through. Not going to hit anyone there as each damage gets activated by RR Raven there. Reverbo forced out. Rain Dance is buying some time. Walks into a tornado. Still alive. Apollo dunks down across the sky, comes through, and Zeus is absolutely meat for Denial. And there goes the Polynamaguan hit there on the chalk, of course, and this leaves a Fire Giant available part. Only Athena and Tyr remain. Athena does have tier 3 Head of the Gods, but they certainly can zone her out.
Yeah, they shouldn't have a hard time at all. Pain to be on there, as you see him just keeping them away. You know, in that right side engagement, what really went wrong there was Tyr he blew his blink in Fearless combination and didn't find a way to secure any CC. So then when the chalk kind of followed up onto Apollo with the silence, they didn't have anything to really keep him in place and deal the damage to him they needed to. And so that fight just went so bad as Chalk overextended towards that tier 2 in the right side, just got so punished for it. And unfortunately, Denial has really turned this one. If you are an Evolution fan, this one is really starting to fall in the way of Denial. They're going to find a lot of towers in the back of that Fire Giant, and that's really been the name of the game so far, is that this tower push from Denial as they really spread the map out really, really well in kind of that early mid-game period right around the 20-minute mark, and just found a little bit of tower damage at a time, and now have successfully taken out all of the tier 1s and have translated that into a 7,000 gold lead.
We're going to see him pick up a rod here on Ao Guang. That's going to make things very, very different. He went for the Gem of Isolation, allowing a slow, a little bit of HP on top of it, making it a little more defensive. It also goes for the Polynomicon on top of that, and then right into the rod. The rod's going to make things very, very different for Mace to face on Ao Guang here. The Gold Fear is going to be picked off by Denial. No chance of contention from Evolution as they try to rotate over, but they're not going to spot it out in time. Looking at the vision, it's very much in the way of Denial. We see Athena forced to back here. Cupid doing the blue buff might be caught out yet again. Jingle Bang going to come out and do some damage there as there goes the spin to win to force him out. The blue buff is now going to be stolen away. Cupid wanted it so bad, but Denial is just going to take that away as well. And given the fact that the map is very much in the control of Denial, they have a 1 tower advantage, but at the same time they have 8,100 gold. So if you take away the tower difference here, it's going to be a 7,100 in favor of Denial. A huge, huge difference here for Evolution. And one of the biggest things about this is they don't have map control and they can't defend these tier 2 towers. They have to fight on a Phoenix. This is another 4,500 gold that Denial can just freely take unless they screw up here. They're forcing it forward, but they just need a good initiation. And with Denial buying defensive items, like you see the Height of the Urchin being picked up here by Sun Wukong, we also have a little bit of defensive items from Rush now getting that Gem of Isolation. Those slows are going to be absolutely devastating for these team fights.
Tier 2s continue to fall around the map. Only one remaining, and Jeff Hinla, look at that. Eye of the Urchin into Chin's Blades. This is going to turn into size as well, as he's just going to be looking for that extra bonus damage on top there. And Denial is certainly poised to take this game. They're going to have a massive gold advantage. The gods are all sitting on well over 1,500 gold apiece. They can go back and finish up these items, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and aggress the right side here. Now, one thing to note is that King Taco is sitting on Malice Deathbringer combination, so a lot of damage can come out from this Cupid, but I feel like it's going to take a nicely placed Fields of Love, and we haven't really seen one so far in these team fights from King Taco. That ultimate always seems to come in a little bit too late, or he's forced to use it defensively. So what's going to go on here is that Denial once again going to spread the map out. Pain of Beyond going to aggress that left side Phoenix while the team moves in. I'm sorry, in the right while the team moves into the left. And I think we're going to have a little bit of a stall out here as Denial is looking. Oh, nope. Their main line going in there, finding the shield wall. There's a big knock-up Chalk and Tier in the back lines, but they don't have enough damage to burst anyone down. And this is where it's going to start turning for Denial. A huge ongoing ultimate doing 812 damage. Pain of Beyond comes in, jams it in with the ultimate as well. They're going to find the Mesmerize, and now you're going to see Evolution start dropping 3 down. All of their front line off the board. Only Tyr and Cupid remain, and this one is going to be going the way of Denial. I'm not sure Evolution can hold them out of the base at this point. Phoenix is going to fall mid-Phoenix. They're going to skip that thing and go right for the Titan try there. It looks like this one is Denial's game.
Yeah, it certainly is a great rotation. There goes the Titan, the forced out here. Hand of the Gods comes out just for a little bit extra damage on the back end. And there goes the Valkyries just ascending to the heavens in death. And Evolution, I think they're going to learn a lot from this game because you could see that they had everything right. Their picks were good. Their combos were there. But I think they just kind of either were put too much on the back foot or really just stopped focusing on what their team was built for. We didn't see as many combos as we would like to see coming out from them in the later stages of the game. I mean, Zeus notably had some pretty poor positioning in certain situations where they would like to have more. In fact, look at the damage numbers right now. Zeus is going to be far and away the most in the game, even though he was 3-4 on the losing team. 19,000 damage dealt. The second place is going to go to, of course, Ao Guang there with 17.8 and 17 flat, actually 17,000 on Rushed playing that Ra, of course. Look at the structure damage. We see a lot coming out from Guan Yu, a ton from Pain, a decent amount from Ao Guang as well, and the only person with a decent amount there on Evolution was that Cupid. So, the fact that they were fighting head-to-head with Pain constantly split-pushing and only getting a few kills here and there really didn't bode well for Evolution. And I think it just came down to the fact that they lost sight of what their team was built for and kind of had that intimidation factor going for them. You're going against Denial. They were there at the PAX Prime Invitational. They've been around all of 2013. They were there at the end of the year tournament. They're a very strong team, and all players that are known in the community. They stream, very talented, and I think Evolution just kind of lost sight of what they were looking to do. You had the Blink on Chalk. We didn't see any Blink Stormcall activations there. We saw very few Blink activations from Tier, although we saw a ton